I used to think if I kept the peace long enough, they'd eventually see me, not just use me, not just lean on me, see me. But the thing about always being the responsible one is that people stop asking what you need. They just take what they want and call it love. It started with a cake. No, it ended with a cake. 3 tiers, ivory and champagne laced with hand-piped roses. Noah and Eliza written in pale gold script. $2,650. More than I should have spent, but it was the one indulgence I allowed myself. After years of sacrifice, I just wanted one thing that felt untouched. The wedding wasn't lavish, just thoughtful. Golden hour by the lake, clean tables, soft music. I paid for every inch. No loans, no favors, no strings, just that cake. Then she showed up. Sierra, my younger sister. Late, of course. Hair still damp. Stilettos digging into the soil. No gift, no smile. She didn't greet me, just wandered in like the whole day was hers to hijack. She leaned against the dessert table, twirling an earring, flashing that bored little smirk. Her elbow twitched. The cake tilted, then collapsed. Silence. Gasps. Buttercream everywhere. The sugared roses crushed into the hem of Eliza's dress. And Sierra just laughed. Oops. No apology, no guilt. Just a half shrug like she'd tipped over a party cup. I didn't move. Couldn't. My mother appeared beside me. Flute of Praco raised halfway to her lips, her voice dripping with denial. You know how she gets when she's feeling left out. That was all she said. No outrage, no apology, just a soft nudge toward acceptance. Like always, that night when the guests were gone and the air had gone cold, I sat alone at a folding table, laptop open, reception spreadsheet still on the screen. Next to it, a folder labeled Sierra Move. Inside it, a housing fund I'd set aside for her, $10,800. My name on the cosign, her new lease, ready to be signed. I stared at it, then made 2 clicks, revoked the authorization like the time she sent me screenshots of luxury apartments 2 weeks before the wedding. No, please. Just mom said you might help with the down payment. Smiley face. $66,000 for a loft as a gift. She had no job, no savings, just entitlement and good lighting. I ignored the text. So, she posted a TikTok filming the granite countertops of the unit with a caption. Manifesting this. Ignore my bitter brother blocking my blessings, lol. That was the shift. She cast me as the villain. The obstacle between her and the lifestyle she thought she deserved. And my mother, she defended her. If you help, she said, maybe things won't be so tense. I reminded her I'd already helped. Again and again, she replied, well, that was your choice. As if every sacrifice was just voluntary. Forgettable. But I remembered the boogie board Sierra cried over when we were 10. The brochure she left on the kitchen table when she wanted her first car. The appeal letter I rewrote after she failed her classes. The overdue rent. The medical bills. The trip to Santorini. She couldn't miss every time. Same phrase from my mom. She just needs a little help finding her feet. It had been 6 years. She was still crawling. So, when she got that email at 9:46 a.m. that her lease had fallen through, that was the crack in the floorboards. The text came fast. Then the call, her voice, all syrup and static, wrapped in panic. You can let it. I could lose this place. I answered plainly. I know. You did this to get back at me. I said, you destroyed our wedding cake. She paused. It was just cake. Then she called me dramatic and hung up. By lunchtime, my mother was at my door. No warning, just a clutch bag and a forced half smile. She sat down and said the thing that still rings in my ears. You've always been the stable one, the one we could count on. Like it was a compliment. It wasn't. It was a sentence. I said, that person's gone. She blinked, whispered, she's young. She's your sister and I'm your son. I said, but I've spent my whole life being punished for having patience. She left. No goodbye. Just the door shutting with a quiet click. Then the online story started. Sierra's truth. Tears on camera. Heartbreak in slow motion. Abusive sibling leaves me stranded. Hundreds of thousands of views. A donation link. But I didn't post. I didn't defend. Instead, I emailed her future landlord. Attached every receipt, Every transfer, every piece of proof. Subject: no longer financially responsible for Ms. Sierra James. That night, I slept with my phone in another room because what they never expected wasn't confrontation. It was indifference, stillness. A week later, Eliza and I moved. Small town, quiet road, no forwarding address. And then I found a box in storage. Notes from Sierra years ago. Thanks for the ride. Please don't tell Mom. You're my favorite. I sat on the floor and cried. Not for the money, not for the cake. For the sister I used to know. The one who saw me as more than a safety net. Then I shredded the notes. Some things aren't meant to be held forever. The email I sent that morning wasn't revenge. It was a boundary, a timestamp, a final invoice. 9:46 a.m. The phone started ringing. The text came in waves. And when I didn't bend, they blamed Eliza because when they couldn't twist me anymore, they turned on the next woman beside me. Typical. I didn't answer. I just stepped outside, mug in hand. Eliza's laughter floated through the window as she chatted with her sister. It didn't feel like peace. Not yet, but it felt like the place where peace might grow. 3 days later, Mom came back. No wine, no smile, just a plain white cake box. 3 layers, white icing, crooked roses. Her version of an apology, she said. I didn't want to lose both of you. I said, so, you chose the one who screamed louder. She answered softly. She was fragile. You were strong. There it was again. Strong. Strong enough to lift everyone else. Strong enough to stay quiet. Strong enough to not need anything. I looked at her, really looked, and said, being strong doesn't mean I don't hurt. It just means you expected me to suffer quietly. She blinked, asked, is there a way back? I glanced down at the frosting, already cracking along the edge, and I didn't answer because sometimes silence isn't forgiveness. Sometimes it's closure.